Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Okay, the USA and Wales game just ended. It's pretty bittersweet to be in control of the first half like that and dominate. And I think the football that we were playing was, I mean, it really was attractive and proactive football. The way we were moving the ball around, Musa, McKinney, Tyler Adams in that midfield. I mean, it's like it's it's when we have them, you can tell, what a cohesive and what a strong midfield we have, and it just makes you worry that when one of those players comes off or someone gets injured, especially now when you saw all the limping going around, especially with McKinney coming off. You have players like Brendan Aronson who can come in and you change the formation, but that those three are so important to this team. It's a worry to see the drop off when one of them is taken out or there's a system change or formation change, I suppose. Overall the game was, again, like I said, disappointing because we lost 2 points. We had the lead in the 30th minute. We earned that lead. It was a great ball from Christian Pulisic to Weah, who I thought would have been on the bench behind Brendan Aronson or perhaps Gio Reyna, who, that's something I'll talk about a bit later on in the video. Brendan Aronson, obviously the form of his life in the Premier League for Leeds, but Timothy Weah, obviously a very, very good game from him. A great goal, a confident finish. The touch that he took also from that ball over the top, when he crossed that ball into that, almost resulted in an own goal. It was great to see a player like that coming in with confidence. Timothy Weah, certainly a fantastic player for us, whether he's starting, whether he's coming off the bench. Definitely a player who can change the game. Obviously scored the goal today, but overall a big game player in my opinion. One of my favorite players for sure. I did think he would. I didn't think he would start. I did think Brendan Aronson, was going to be on that right hand side, but look, he did the job well, and I think when Aronson came on, he was fantastic. The energy that he has. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, and he reminds me a lot of Martinelli. The way he just runs and runs and runs. He'll lose the ball and chase you, until he wins the ball back. I think he did that twice. Alexis Sanchez, like with the work rate, I should say. DeAndre Yedlin came on and didn't really do enough for me. Obviously, Serginho Dest probably just, I don't know if he picked up a knock or just being tired, a cramp. I don't know what it was, but you saw, three big substitutions at once. And a lot of those players coming off. Wales made that change at halftime, bringing Dan James off. And they, were the much better team at halftime, excuse me. They were clearly the better team. I think when they brought Moore on, he's such a big figure that and he's quick on his feet. You don't think a big guy like that is so nifty with his feet, but really he is a quality player, so dangerous in the air. And Jordan Morris coming on ahead of Gio Reyna. The only explanation for that is you're saving Gio Reyna for England on Friday. And for me, that's the only excuse. I don't really see it as much of an excuse. Maybe you want to give him a little more time. I mean, I know he's been playing for Dortmund. I don't think he's picked up any injury or any knock or anything of that nature. So, unless there's something going on that we don't know, the fact that you're bringing on Jordan Morris ahead of Gio Reyna, and again, I'm not out here to attack anybody, man. Jordan Morris has deserved it. Where he is in his career. He's you remember him back in 2017 scoring that winner in the Gold Cup. I don't want to, come after any player, but he's obviously not, doesn't have the quality of someone like Reyna. And I think the coach's decision to bring him on, there must be more to it, in my opinion. I think maybe you're saving him, fresh legs for England, but it's hard to say. It's really, really hard to say. And, this young team, they almost did it all, and unfortunately it was sort of undone. I'm not going to say one player. I'm not going to sit there and point fingers, but the tackle from Zimmerman, this is a veteran defender, 29 years old, MLS player of the year, I think 2 years running, and it just was it just so unnecessary. Bale is turned away from goal, and he can make anything happen at any moment. Of course, you have to give him credit, but it just was so unnecessary. I couldn't believe that he went in like that. And, maybe he did get a little bit of the ball, a tiny bit of the ball, but he got, he just barged into Bale and from behind in the penalty box, going to ground even like that. I couldn't understand it. And a shot hit like that, Matt Turner, he could have got a fingertip on it, but it was going in, and it was a valiant effort from him. I don't think Gareth Bale was ever going to miss that. Obviously, there's a little bit of hope, but oh my God, it stings. It really, really stings. And again, I'm not here to point fingers or anything like that, but it was 2 points dropped, and it's going to make things a lot more difficult now. If we don't get a result against England, then you have to say Wales may be favorite against Iran, seeing how they played. Obviously, they got absolutely demolished today by England. England clearly the favorites to win the group. But if we can play cohesive football like we did in that first half and not drop off, I think we have a chance to get a result against England. But when I was watching that England game, I didn't see any player really go down or cramp or be injured. I mean, the substitutions were, we used 3 subs. All the 5 subs came on, and within 20, 25 minutes, it seemed like lots of players looked like they're cramping, and Christian Pulisic wasn't protected at all the entire game. I'll talk about the referee now a little bit. He was completely clueless. It seemed just out of his element. The first yellow card, I think, that he gave Dest, maybe I could see it. You can. Everyone can say, you can say what you want about the first challenge. It was a pretty heavy challenge, so I suppose I can understand the yellow card, but the Weston McKennie challenge, I mean, a yellow card for that, it's like, I mean, how could you give him a yellow card for that? He won the ball anyway, and he barely even barged into the man. And just because Nico Williams screamed like he got his legs chopped off. These referees, I saw the referee later getting in the face of some Welsh players who were complaining to him, and it's like, you grow your balls in the second half, but you didn't have the balls to see that this guy's clearly play acting. I mean, no way any challenge in football hurts that much. I've never seen one, other than maybe someone getting their leg broken. And the referee was just all over the place. It was like he saw every, all 22 players on the pitch in the same color. He had no idea what was going on. He was horrible. The linesman was bad. Those goal kicks that should have been given to the USA. Wales should have had a handball a couple times. The USA should have had it as well. And it was just piss poor refereeing, from the start of the game. Again, I cannot understand how McKennie got the yellow card. And it seemed like it was a recipe for disaster. But thankfully, nothing came of it. We now just have to wait and see if we're going to lose anybody. Lots of players seemingly limping around, for Wales as well. So, yeah, it just seemed like, especially Pulisic, he was just kicked around the entire game. I don't know who number 5 is for Wales, but he was booked, and he had 2 or 3 challenges afterwards already on a yellow. One of them wasn't even near the. I don't understand. I can't understand that. If you give a player a yellow card for their first challenge, then you give a player in the second half a yellow card, and you let him foul 3 more times. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me that you are keeping them in your pockets. A yellow card is a warning. You can verbally warn someone, but once you give them a yellow, you very rarely see another warning, especially if it's for a challenge like, Christian was given multiple times, 2 or 3 of them, and it was always the same guy. So, again, I don't know. I'm not making excuses here. The USA lost the game themselves, obviously, giving away the penalty. But, again, the refereeing was really, really, really poor. Stopping the game for the USA and for Wales with no head injury. The Timothy Weah, he got a little bit on the top of his boot. I mean, you can't stop the game for that. And then he did it for the USA, so now he's got to do it for Wales, and it's just, I mean, you're killing the game like this. I say that, I talk about referees all the time, not having the balls to control the game and control the players, and they get in your face, you get in their face. You're the man. This is your game to officiate, and you have to be able to dictate how the game goes. And you see this fluid football, or you see someone constantly going after a player, you have to pay attention to it and give them a warning, give them a yellow card. But to let them go off 2-3 times, I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was just absolutely ridiculous. I'll end it there. Again, like I said, the USA lost this game. Clearly, they were the worst the worst team in the second half. Wales came out shooting, and a good save from Matt Turner. Can't really blame him, obviously, for the penalty going in. It was just a rocket from Gareth Bale, as you would expect. Zimmerman and Tim Ream didn't put a foot wrong until Zimmerman, had that really, really poor challenge on Bale, and that was sort of it from there. The USA were defending, and Wales aren't a team that are going to want a lot of the ball, so it's not going to be like that for England. England are going to be pressing and pressing, and you would imagine, especially that midfield. I mean, they're such a good team, so many dangerous players. You think of that midfield, and if we're losing McKennie, if we're losing Musa or Adams, I just think we're fucked, man. I honestly think we are fucked if we don't get a result against England. You don't want to be dependent on Wales and England. In the third match, Wales beating you want to make your own fate. And it's such a big game coming around on Friday. I'm losing hope. I would say, because just that I see this tackle from Zimmerman over and over in my head. I just can't. I can't help but say I lost it. It didn't lose us the game, but it lost us the 3 points, and they're so important now. You look at England's goal difference. I mean, that goes a long way when you're only playing 3 games in a group, and. Yeah, man, really disappointing, really, really stings. So I'm going to end it there. Let me know your thoughts, obviously, on the game, on the referee. What's going on with Gio Reyna? Is he first name on the team sheet against England on Friday? You hit me up on Twitter or in the comments below. Thanks very much, guys, for watching, and I will see you when I see you.